Record on this computer? All right, so we are recording. Yay! Hi, everybody. Welcome to the call this week. Thank you so much for being here. It really means a lot to me that you guys want to be on these calls. So I love seeing all of your faces, so this is so much fun. So what is today? Today is January 18th. We are more than halfway through the month. Which is crazy, but awesome. But I'm just going to quickly say this, if hitting Success Club is your goal, make sure if you haven't hit it yet that you're, creating new messages and opportunities. You're still sharing the All Access Challenge pack or the All Access on-demand option, because as of right now, that is only available until February 28th. And after that, we don't know if they're doing away with it or if they may change the price of it. It's up in the air, so I would err on the side of caution and, assume that they may do away with it. I kind of doubt it, but you never know. And let me just back up a little bit and explain why. I don't know why my screen is black, so sorry that you can't actually see me talking right now. It's kind of weird, but anyway, we're still going to move forward with the call. So one thing I want to say before I get into it is Team Cup. The February Team Cup, it obviously, I just said it, is in February, so it starts February 1st. So registration opened on Monday of this week. I did a post about it in our team page, and not too many people commented on it, so I want to encourage all of you guys to tag your coaches under that to make sure everyone sees it and to see who wants to be on a team. And one thing I want to just say about the Cup teams is it's not like I never want anyone to feel like they shouldn't or can't be on a team. Like, this isn't something to say, like, if you don't hit Success Club, you shouldn't even be doing this. Like, that is not what this is about. The Cup is just an opportunity to maximize your efforts, to try and see what you can accomplish in a month, and to basically just build momentum for your business. But like, it all comes down to lives that you're going to affect and help, and start either helping them on their journey or the Success Club points obviously are great to get, especially if you're someone who really wants to grow a business, but I don't want anyone to feel like they shouldn't be on a team because they are afraid of not hitting Success Club, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. I feel like all of us should be on a team just for the sake of being on a team, seeing if it's going to push you outside of your comfort zone a little bit more. And just because it's fun, like, why not, right? And then I was thinking, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I feel like some of you guys, if not all of you, might have been in the Business Boost group that Candace and Shane did, when was that? I think it was the end of December. And they shared a lot of scripts and like actual things that we can take and use like immediately. I mean, you can adjust them or change them however you want, but I feel like it simplifies things when you have an example to look at. Because I don't know about you guys, but I feel like a lot of us get caught up and we overcomplicate things. When in reality, all you have to do is send a simple message sometimes, and that's all it takes. So what I want to do is hopefully by Sunday, because I started working again, so I'm going to try and do this. What's today? Wednesday? Probably on Friday. So by Sunday, I want to have those scripts like, hi Danielle. I want to have those scripts like set up and ready so that actually, is next week the last week of January? Hang on a second. There's one more week. I basically want to do a team-wide, so next week is the last full week, so maybe I'll run it next week if you guys want, or we can wait till February, but I want to basically kind of have like a Business Boost group for our team, and like each day provide examples of what to say based on what Candace shared with us. And it will have to be tweaked a little bit because most of the posts they were talking about had to do with the health bet or with the all access, which we'll still use for the all access, but it'll just have to be changed a little bit. But I feel like that might be really helpful, especially for people who are on the cup, who want to be on a cup team, to just start using those messages and start just sending them out to people, getting conversations started. So does that sound like something you guys would want to do? You can either chat or unmute yourselves if it does. Or regardless, it doesn't necessarily have to be for the, what's it called?
Yeah.
For the team cup, but I don't know. I just feel like that would be super helpful. Cool. Word. All right. So that's the plan for that. And yeah, so cup registration, we just have to make sure we all register by the end of this month.
You hear me, Jackie?
Yes. Hi.
Sorry, I wasn't sure if I was muted or not, but I'm driving, so I couldn't unmute. Question about the cup. Is it still only one lifetime diamond per team?
Oh, thank you for bringing that up. I believe so. I haven't looked at the rules yet, but that usually is what the rules are. So last year, or either last year, whatever the last cup was, I feel like we put names in a hat or something. We can do that again just to kind of like make it less complicated, I guess.
Yeah, and let's see how it shakes out. If we have enough people for 2 teams within Embrace, then I'm happy to, split that with you. And then I was going to say, if it ends up not being enough, then I can offer myself up to Fit Mama if somebody needs it. But we'll figure that out.
Oh, yeah, totally. And we can even like depending on how many people, we could even still divvy up the names and then both of us reach out to Fit Mama. Like I have no doubt that we'll be able to at least fill up mine and your teams and then potentially even more than that because there are a good amount of us. And then I was thinking too of just having like a separate group page. I would be totally fine with just having all of us in there who's on our team cup teams to collaborate with each other. Because I don't want to have it be in the team page just because I know there are discount coaches in there or like people who just aren't necessarily interested in the type of things that we would be sharing for that. So I'm thinking that might be a good idea to open up during the cup month too. So that is what I have for that. Is there any other announcements I wanted to say? I don't think so. Oh, I did see in the Coach Breaking News that they did drop the price of Country Heat. Just in case anyone has any like Country Heat people that they were talking to, the price was lowered. I don't know to what, but I do remember seeing that. All right, let's get into it. So this kind of will feed off of what we talked about last week. So last week I shared my notes on how to create your vision and your life's mission. So if you weren't on the call last week, I highly recommend listening to the recording. And I do apologize for not sharing those documents with those questions. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't have an explanation. I think I dreamed that I did it. So my apologies. I will do that definitely tonight before I go to bed. Because I want you guys to be filling out those questions about how to create your vision and how to create your mission and to put them somewhere where you can constantly see them. Because those are going to be huge drivers. That is like, I feel like those are like on the same level as your why. And will just like drive you even stronger. I still feel like this is like I'm making so many hand motions right now and you can't even see. All right, so how to create your mindset. So this goes along with everything that he talked about. This was module 4 of his 5 module or 6 module thing. So basically his creating your mindset kind of coincides with setting goals for yourself. But I kind of actually liked that he used the word mindset instead of goals because your goals, like basically when you create goals for yourself, like you have to have a certain mindset to set certain goals. Do you know what I mean? Like if you're going to set like big goals for yourself, you got to have the mindset that you're going to crush it, or like that you're going to go for it. Whether or not you achieve those goals obviously depends on what you do every single day, but the fact that you're setting goals like that are really big is going to push you harder. So how to create your new mindset is basically how to create goals for yourself. So as Beachbody coaches, it's really beneficial to set a year-end goal for yourself and to have that goal be one of those, like all of your big scary ones, like a year from now, because what you can accomplish in a year is a lot, but and we're going to break it down. So like, it's going to kind of make a lot more sense in a little bit, but you want to set a year-end goal for yourself based on where you want your business to go by the end of the year and where you want to be by the end of the year. So set those really big, scary goals and like dream big here. Like don't sell yourself short, kind of like what I was talking about last week. But set that year-end goal, and then you have to start breaking it down. So I know most, if not all of you guys have read or listened to the 12-week year. If you haven't yet, that is such a good book because it helps you break down goals into 12-week periods. And like if you think about it, if you set, and a lot of people do this, they set like really big goals for themselves for like the end of the year. And then you keep telling yourself, well, you know, I'm not going to do anything today. Like I have a whole year, like we're only in January. So like you could easily be like, well, I got 11 more months to go. Like I'm just going to take it easy this month. And then next month rolls around and then you're like, I still have like 10 more months. Like I'll just kind of work towards it, but not really. And the next thing you know, it's September, October, and you're like, holy shit, now I only have like 2 or 3 months left of the year. And you're busting ass for the rest of the year. So like, did any of you guys do that? Like towards the end of last year, you kind of like picked things up a little bit because you wanted maybe to hit a certain goal, or like it was the holidays and you wanted to like build that momentum and stuff like that. That is what I want us to be doing all year round, which is why it's so beneficial to set like a big goal for the end of the year, but then break it down. So like, let's say, like for me, for example, I want to be, this scares the crap out of me, by the way, but I'm freaking saying it. All right. I want to be a 10-star diamond elite coach by the end of the year. Like you can't even see me right now, but like it almost hurts to say that. But by saying that, that's gonna like up the ante for everything I know I need to do in order to achieve that. But anyway, obviously, if I were to think to myself, being a 10-star elite coach right now, I would like probably pass out or like go hide in a corner and be like, I don't even know where to start, which is why you have to take those goals and break them down. So like basically what I need to do if I want to achieve that is I need to figure out how many coaches I should be signing up per month in order to build my chances of getting that. I need to figure out how many points I need to get elite points. Like these things all have to be figured out. And if you don't figure that stuff out, you're not going to hit it, because basically when you're not figuring out the details of what you need to do every month, every 3 months, every 6 months, every 9 months or whatever to get to that end goal, then that's your fear stopping you. So being able to take that big goal, break it down, figure out what you need to do to achieve it, and basically bring it down to a monthly, if not even weekly goal to set, then you're going to be on the right path towards achieving that. I feel like I'm kind of speaking in circles right now. Am I making any sense? Sorry. All right, let me go down this list and see if I can read these things and make a little more sense. So, oh good, so I am making sense. Okay, so 1-year goals are too big and far away. People often think they have time to make it. So there's no sense of urgency. So having a sense of urgency is like pretty much the key to getting yourself to go outside of your comfort zone. Like if there's no urgency, like if you think about a paper, like a big paper that you had to write for school, like how many of you, I mean, I was a professional procrastinator is what I call myself. Like, I can't even tell you how many times I had this huge project to do and I waited until like a couple days before because there was urgency. There was a due date. I had a due date. I couldn't not make that date. So I had to eventually start working my ass off to figure it out and to get it done for that date. Whereas if I just did that from the time I knew it was due, it would have been at a more steady pace. I wouldn't have been so stressed out about it. But you know what? That's school. So that's a totally different thing. But having that sense of urgency is what's going to push you outside of your comfort zone. It's what's going to keep you having like more energy and focus towards achieving your more short-term goals. Okay. So short-term goals basically force you into action and focus. But if there's no urgency, there isn't any focus. And then where there's no focus, you're not pushed outside of your comfort zone. So basically, urgency is where it's at. So let's see. I'm just reading down my notes. I apologize. Yeah, so basically what I was saying, like don't coast this year and think that you can make it all up at the end of the year. Like that's not how this business works. And I know you all know that. I know you know that consistency is key in getting momentum and running with that. But you need to be consistent all year long. You can't have, I mean, obviously this depends on what your goals are. So like if you're okay with, not really going very far and having a steady pace, and if you don't have really big goals for yourself, then that obviously is going to adjust the way you go about things. But if you have really big goals for yourself, then you're doing yourself a disservice by not maintaining your consistency. And this kind of ties in a little bit to the live video I did, I think it was last week, about the Chinese bamboo tree, how the Chinese have to show up every single day for 4 years straight to water and fertilize a seed that was planted for 4 years straight, every single day, and not even a single bud is going to come out of the soil. So there is no evidence that this tree is even growing, but they have to water it and fertilize it every single day for 4 years straight and have faith that all of a sudden it's going to blossom. And then once 4 years go by and they didn't miss a day, the tree grows 90 feet in 6 weeks, I think it said. So that kind of goes back to why consistency and showing up every day is so important. And it also explains the concept of how, being consistent, showing up every day, reaching out to people, building these relationships, it's not necessarily gonna create any results for you right away. But that doesn't mean you have to stop. That doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It just means you gotta keep going, and you gotta keep going. Like nothing should stop you. It can get super discouraging when you feel like nothing's working and you feel like you're not building momentum. But the fact that you're showing up every single day is 100% making a difference and slowly building that momentum for you. All right. So basically what we want to do is set a big year-end goal, multiple goals for you. I want all of you guys to do this, and they don't have to just be business goals, by the way. They can be like life goals too. But then, I don't know, I don't know if you have like a planner or some sort of a calendar, like a physical calendar. If you don't, you may be able to do this on the computer. But what he suggested doing was put your year-end goal like at the end of the year. And then each month, put your month-end goal. So like, let's say, so for me also, I want to be a Success Club 10 All-Star this year. So for every single month, I'm going to set my Success Club goal at 20, because that is going to push me to do more, reach out to more people, and has a better guarantee of me hitting 10 versus me saying my Success Club goal every month is 10. Because I'm not going to push myself. Like if I hit 10, I may be like, all right, I did it. Like, that's great. But then what if someone returns something? Or like, what if I could have helped another person? So I'm going to set my goal every month and I'm going to put it on my planner to hit Success Club 20. If I don't achieve that, that's fine. But my chances of achieving 10 are a lot higher by doing that. And then if you want to take it a step further than that, you can also put a number at the top of each week or at the end of each week for something you want to achieve. So like, again, if I want to be a 10-star diamond by the end of the year, I need to really break down how many coaches I want to be signing up every single month. And I should quite honestly be signing up one every week, which is terrifying. But again, when you set really big goals, you push yourself harder. And your chances of achieving them are higher. So, and I have not done this yet, so I'm just throwing it out there, but I'm going to do it for February and forward. And if you wanted to, you can even put a number for each day. This is totally up to you how much you want to break it down, but I would at least recommend taking your year-end goal, breaking it down to every single month, also 3 months, which is 12 weeks. You can give yourself a 6-month goal, which would basically be before summit. So you can give yourself like a before summit goal. And then definitely monthly and weekly. Because that, again, is going to give you urgency. Urgency is going to keep you on track for hitting those long-term goals. It's going to help you be more creative in the way that you're going to do things so that you can get to those goals. It's going to help you stay more focused because it's like kind of like what I was saying in the beginning. Like if all you're thinking about is that huge year-end goal, like you're not going to have any focus because you're just thinking, how am I ever going to do that? But if you break it down into something smaller, you can be like, all right, that number I can handle. So it kind of helps you focus more and like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not coming to me, but I hope you know what I mean. Oh, and what did he say? Urgency. Oh, this is a really good point. So urgency teaches us we can usually do in 1 week what we would normally aim for in a month. So if you think about basically kind of what I was saying about that like homework project, like I did, like if you get an assignment that's due in a month from now, but you procrastinate it and you do it in like 2 days before, that basically means that you could have done, you could get that done in 2 days. So like, let's imagine what you can accomplish when you bring that to your business for 30 days of an entire month if you did it for all 30 days versus like just the 2 days at the end. Like if you're someone who's always scrambling at the end of the month to try and hit Success Club, imagine if you started working like that at the beginning of every month and throughout every month. Like the possibility of the lives that you can affect and change, and in turn the Success Club points you can get is so much higher, which is why you want to be doing this. And this is I feel like this is, if you're not a goal setter, like I've never been somebody that actually would like write down and like say, I want to achieve these goals. Like I was never the type of person who would say, I want to achieve this goal by this date. So it feels weird to me, but that's a habit I want to get into because that is what successful people do. And that gives you the urgency to achieve those things. And it helps you, want to go outside of your comfort zone. So I want to become a person who does this. I don't know about you guys, but I certainly do. And the only way to become that person is to do it even when it feels weird. Right? All right. So here are the questions that are going to help you set up goals for urgency, focus, and success. Question number 1, what is your yearly goal? And he said, if it doesn't scare the crap out of you and make you sick to your stomach, then it's not good enough. So if you're setting a low year-end goal for yourself, if you're setting a goal for the end of the year when you're like, oh, like that's going to be easy, or like it doesn't really like cause your heart to start beating faster, or if you're kind of like, like, yeah, I can probably do that. Like, no, this needs to be a goal that you're like crapping your pants over and you think it's impossible, basically. Yes, Katie. Yes, I love that. Katie, I'm saying it out loud. Katie wants to be a 2-star diamond by December 31st. You're making it happen.
Yeah, girl.
Yes. All right. So, and I know I keep saying this, and I know I said it a lot last week, and I'm sorry, but I just can't help myself. And you can't see me this time because last week I was moving my hands around. But like, think about if you, here, I'll use this analogy. I'll use the one that I talked about last week. So John Maxwell, Josh Coates is one of John Maxwell's coaches. Like did his trainings and now he like trains other people. And John Maxwell is one of like the best PD people like ever. He's written 80 personal development books, like 80 books based on like some sort of personal development, leadership, training, whatever. And he said, imagine if John Maxwell only wrote 10 books and then there were these people who were following his type of path and they were thinking about writing some personal development books, and then they thought about John Maxwell and then they thought, well, he wrote 10 books, so like I'm not as good as him, so I'll write 5 books. And they set their bar lower. But knowing that John Maxwell has written 80 books is going to inspire people who are leaning towards becoming the type of person he is to maybe say, well, if he's written 80 books, like I'll maybe write like 50 or 60. And like, do you see how much of a jump that can just make someone else go for as far as like their goals? So that is again why I keep saying you have to set crazy high goals for yourself, because it is going to push you to work harder, to do more, to get more uncomfortable, and it gives you a much better chance of maybe not achieving whatever high goal you set, but of coming pretty darn close to it, which is very likely going to be higher than the original goal you would have set. Does that make sense? So if you set your goal each month to be Success Club 5, you may struggle to hit it. You may be scrambling at the end of the month. You may hit like 3 or you may hit 5, which is fine. But if you, like I'm doing, if you set it at 20, then you're going to be reaching out to more people, doing a lot more stuff, and you have a very higher chance of hitting 10, if not even 20 or like 15. So it definitely makes a big difference when you're setting goals high for yourself. So I already told you my big scary goals. I also wrote down, oh my God, I also said I wanted to surpass my current full-time income and fire my boss by the end of this year. It makes me want to throw up, but it also makes me want to just like cry of happiness. So I'm going for it. And here's something that he said. I believe this was a quote, and I don't know who said it, but he said, God's greatest gift to us is our potential, and our greatest gift to him is developing that potential. And we all have the ability to develop huge potential. We just have to believe in ourselves. All right. So that's question number 1. What is your year-end goal? And it better scare the crap out of you. Question number 2, what will you need to accomplish monthly in order to achieve that big yearly goal? So I apologize. I didn't realize we were going to be asking these questions, so I kind of said all this in the beginning. But this is good to have that year-end goal and then break it down every single month. So how many number of sales do you need to make? How many people do you need to recruit? How many Success Club points do you need to achieve? How many rank advancements do you need to have? Like for people who want to be an elite coach, you need to have For this year, you need your 2016 and 2017 coaches hitting Success Club. You also need to have, I believe, 2 coaches advance to Diamond. I don't know if they can be 16 and 17 coaches or just 17. I have to, but that, again, that's why I need to learn these things so that I know. Because otherwise, if I don't know that, like, I'm not necessarily gonna, know how to achieve it. And again, aim high because it gives you a higher chance of hitting high. So that was question number 2. And question number 3, what do you need to accomplish weekly? And that kind of goes down the same things. So sales numbers, recruit numbers, Success Club points, stuff like that. And you can tailor this to whatever your goal is too, by the way. So like if you're, and I'm sorry, I absolutely hate the words sales and recruit, but I know you guys know what I mean by them. But I'm still going to just throw this out there because I don't like those words, but I know you guys know what I mean. So, but that's pretty much how you want to create a new mindset. Like, think about the type of mindset you need to have and the type of person that you need to become in order to achieve these really big goals for yourself. And that's where PD comes in, personal development. That's why it's one of the vital behaviors. Like, you cannot be skipping out on your personal development. If you are, or if you have been, that's okay, but knock it off and start doing it again. Because that is what's going to help you become the type of person who is going to achieve these big things. Like you deserve to have these things that you want. People deserve to know about this amazing opportunity, and you have the ability to share it with them, whether it's the programs, the products, the shakes, the business opportunity. If you're ever feeling, and this can take a while, but if you're ever feeling like you're being annoying or like you're hesitant to reach out to somebody like this, think about if nobody ever asked you. Like, if you could think to yourself, what would my life be without this coaching opportunity, or without Beachbody, or without these products? Like, I don't know about you guys, but I can't imagine that life. And if I had never seen that Insanity infomercial, if my random high school, she wasn't even really a friend of mine in high school, but if she never reached out to me and asked if I ever heard about coaching, maybe by now somebody else would have, but like, I probably wouldn't be doing this, at least not for as long as I have been. And like, to me, that's just crazy. Like, I can't imagine my life without this. So that really pushes me to keep reaching out to people. And how many times on the National Wake Up Call have you heard somebody say, my coach asked me over and over and over again. They never gave up on me. They gave me my space. They gave me time. And then eventually I came around and this is the best thing ever. Like, how many times have you heard people say that? So like, you may feel like you're being annoying, but that person needs you to keep talking to them. And if they really don't want anything to do with it, then they may block you, but their loss. Oh my gosh, no worries, Danielle. Thank you so much for popping on. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I hope this is helping you guys too, as far as like how important having a vision and a mission and like this type of mindset and goal setting strategy is. I'm not going to lie to you. It's wicked scary and it's uncomfortable because I've never done anything like this before. But I've also never had something that could give me all of these things before. Like, that just seems incredible to me that we truly have the ability to achieve so many amazing and wonderful things with this opportunity. But when you think about that, like if you really think about what you could achieve with this, think about other people that you care about and how they could have these crazy awesome dreams and they could achieve their dreams too because of this. Like I don't know, when I think about how much I want to achieve and like how much possibility I have, and there's so many people that are around me that I care about that I'm like, you could have these things that you're saying too. Like I don't know, it's just amazing to me. And holy crap, Lauren, I totally agree with you. That national wake up call this week had me almost in tears. Like that, oh my gosh, I wish I could. She talked about this. I was kind of blown away by her story, how she almost, like, she basically got a 4-inch splinter in her butt from a playground, and they didn't realize that the splinter had gotten into her bone and caused an infection. And they literally had her like in a hospice place, which basically means like you're eventually going to die. And there was this girl who was her roommate, I believe. Her name was Sarah, and she was in there for what I'm assuming was some type of a cancer. She never said it, but that's what I would assume. And she talked about how Bonnie Engel talked about how she was like in such a bad place. She was depressed. Like she used to be like mean to Sarah. Every day Sarah would ask her, do you want to come to the playroom with me? And Bonnie would say no. Sometimes she would ignore her. Sometimes she was rude. But every day Sarah showed up, and every day she was like, do you want to come to the playroom with me? And after, I don't know, like a month or so, like Bonnie said she started to feel a change in her attitude, and she started to want to go to the playroom. And this is kind of like ties into coaching. Like when we keep reaching out to people, it's not right now. They may not be ready now, but like I can almost guarantee you that they're probably thankful that you're even thinking of them, or you're starting to get the wheels turning in their head for like, okay, I do want to do something, but I'm just not ready yet. But when you keep showing up, these people realize that you care for them. And they start to really take that to heart. And eventually, Bonnie started going to the playroom, in which case her and her mom started researching like what the heck could possibly be wrong with her. They eventually figured it out. It was the antibiotics they were giving her that was killing her. So they changed them. So Bonnie started to get better. Sarah didn't. When Bonnie got discharged, she told Sarah, I'm going to come, what did she say, like next week or something, to go to the playroom with you again, because she like obviously started to really, really grow fondly of Sarah. So when Bonnie came back, she found out that Sarah had passed away, which I was literally like practically choking. I was like, oh my God, it's so sad. But like, I hope you guys can see the reference that makes for this business. Like, you just got to keep showing up. You got to keep showing up, showing people that you love them. Like, you're doing this not for you, you're doing this for them. And you can flat out tell them that. And, you know, the way that you share things on your social media, the way you have conversations, like if that's if that's what's in your heart, it's going to come off that way. And people are eventually going to be so grateful that you didn't give up on them. Oh, I loved that call. Seriously, if you haven't listened to that national makeup call, you got to listen to it, because she had like every little thing she said in that call was amazing. It was so good. But pretty much that's all I have for creating your mindset and some badass goals. Does anyone have any questions or anything you want to add? I'm looking through the chat real quick to see if I missed anything. Yes, setting year-end goals can scare you to the point where you don't want to even do anything. But that's why breaking them down into smaller monthly and weekly goals is so key, because that makes it so much easier to focus on like smaller numbers, more achievable goals, which will ultimately, by the end of the year, if you remain consistent with it, will get you to that big goal. What else is in this chat? Oh my gosh, yes. The bamboo tree is totally an exercise in patience. Yes, that's a very good word for that. Thank you for bringing that up. Got to be consistent and you got to be patient because things will turn around. And you're going to have, peaks and valleys. Like you're going to, once you develop a consistency, there are going to be days, months, weeks where you feel like everything's going your way. Like, oh my gosh, and you think it's just always going to be like that, but then all of a sudden it's going to stop going that good. But that does not mean you slow down. That means that you're just having a valley right now and you got to push through it to get back to your next peak. Katie, you know what you're doing. Silly. Oh, stop. You know what you're doing. Lauren, I love that you shared it with them. That's awesome. It totally is. Yeah, for that type of thing. That's such a great point. Did you listen to the Bob Heilig? Yeah. Oh my gosh, I loved how he explained it. All right. Well, does anyone have any questions or anything you want to add? Well, thank you so much for listening. Yes, hang on. You know what? I have a huge list of personal development that I got. I don't even remember what I got this from. So when I'm going to go share the questions for your vision and your mission, and then I'll also share that. It's like a massive list of personal development, and I'm pretty sure that is one of the subjects that has a few books underneath it. If not, I would definitely, you can ask and fit Mama, or I'll ask for you if you'd rather. Oh, I heard The Universe Has Your Back is wicked good. I haven't read it, but I heard it's amazing. Get over it. Oh my gosh, I have that, but I haven't read it yet. Get over your damn self. Oh, you know what? Another one.
It's really good.
Hang on, I got this other book. Katie, you're probably going to like it because of what it's called. Hang on. I haven't read it yet, so I don't even know if it's going to apply. Oh, you can't even see me. Damn it. That's so anticlimactic. Shit, I'm going to have to send you a picture because then it's not fun if I tell you what it says. I'll send it to you.
Put it in the group or something.
What?
Put the picture in the team page.
Because you want to see it too. It's actually really cool. I want to say it. I'll share the picture because it's way better. You're going to laugh. But yeah, Get Over Your Damn Self. Looks like a wicked good book. I definitely want to read that too.
Jackie, does it happen to be called like Bitch Get Your Shit Together?
No, but it's actually better than that. You want me to just say it?
Sure.
It's a bad word.
You hyped it up. I mean, I love bad words.
I know. So. It's called Unfuck Yourself.
Oh my God, I need this book.
Get out of your head and into your life. It's like, ever felt like a hamster on a wheel, furiously churning your way through life, but somehow going nowhere.
That's me.
Yeah. You need this book. I haven't read it though, so I can't say, but I mean, the name itself sounds like it's good. So I'll still share the picture of it so you know who wrote it. But yeah, so I think that's everything. Well, thank you guys.
Do we want to talk about the
Oh my God, thank you. Yes. See, it's a good thing one of us has a brain.
Sorry, I was getting naked, so I couldn't be on video for a second. I had to change my work clothes. I was dressed as a grown-up for way too long today.
No thanks.
That is exhausting.
It is. It is. I had to change the second I walked in the door.
Speaking of grown-up clothes, I had my hospital-wide orientation last week, and they didn't want us to wear jeans, so we had to wear like business casual. And by Thursday, I was like, I don't know if I have any clothes to wear because I'm used to wearing scrubs.
Yeah. Oh God, I can't imagine. But
I
like the pants I had on today had like no elasticity in the waist and it had like a button and a zipper and I was like, this is terrible. This is not how I want to live my life.
I want to live my life in yoga pants, all right?
I do.
There's actually a company that sells yoga pants that look like business professional.
Ugh.
That's
I want
wonderful.
the opposite. I want my business professional clothes to look like yoga pants.
Yes, so I love this idea of a PD book club is what you called it, right?
Yeah, I literally typed it as I was thinking of it, so I didn't have any real formal thought around it yet, and now I'm brain dead because I was in Boston all day. But basically, like when I am reading personal development, I process it obviously in my own head and I journal a little bit about it, but I feel like it's more valuable when I do get to talk to somebody else about it or like say it out loud or like see what other people think about it. So I felt like having a forum where we could all chat, share our learnings and like bounce things off each other would help like crystallize the ideas a little bit more and just make it all a little bit more impactful.
Yeah,
So
I totally love that idea.
I think we can like play with the concept and like adjust as we go, but I feel like if we start, like you said, if we at least started it as part of team meetings, then if it takes off and we want to do separate calls or whatever, we could do that. But I don't know. I just feel like it would be helpful for me to sort of have a place where we can chat about it.
Yeah, I agree. Well, not only that, but like, let's say, because I feel like it would be more beneficial for us individually to do our own thing, even though like if we were reading the same book, it would probably be more structured, but at the same time, like we all have different needs and focuses and stuff like that. But like, let's say one of us is reading a book that someone else maybe already read, and then you share something, and then the other person's like, oh, wow, I never really thought of it that way, or vice versa. Or like you just say something that kind of clicks with somebody else. They didn't even read the book yet, but like you got inspiration from that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's totally cool. And it will help us each not just like brush through or brush by the personal development that we're getting. Like that would help us to stop, think about it, and process it more.
Yeah.
Which is huge.
Yeah. Yeah, and we could like, I mean, I know, some people might want like direction or advice on what to read, so we could have either a post or even a spreadsheet in the file section of the team page where like people are like, this is what I'm reading now. So we kind of have like a heads up on what, we might be talking about in the next book club meeting.
Yeah. Totally.
And then if two people are reading the same book, great. Like you could compare notes and you could sort of say, I'm going to talk about this or I'm going to talk about that or whatever.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. And I don't know if anyone is interested in this. What is it called? Let me find it real quick. So on one of the Bob Heilig videos, he talked about this app. It's called Blinkist, BLINKIST. I just put it in the chat. But I'm pretty sure it's like $8 or $10 a month, but it literally has every single, well, he said it has every single personal development book that you would ever want in like a summarized, it's kind of like Cliff Notes for personal development. So if you're somebody who maybe like gets bored easily with a book and never finishes it, or wants to like just get like the bullet points of a book, or wants to like quickly make a post about something but you don't want to read a whole book, or you just want like a small quick summary of something like that, I think it has, you can either listen to it or read it, and it's like it's even like 15 minutes, or it's like something like super short and quick where you can just basically get the gist of what a book is. And I'm not trying to say like stop reading personal development books in their entirety, but I do feel like that could be valuable sometimes, especially if you're like super busy, you feel like you have a lot going on, and if you're not getting your personal development in because you feel like it's taking too much time, or the thought of reading a book not back to front, front to back of me, like if that is something that just puts you off from it entirely because that seems like too much, like you can't handle it, this could be your answer.
Yeah.
Or you could do the whole read 10 pages a day, and before you know it, you'll be breezing through books. But I know everybody's different. Some people like to read, some people like audios, some people can pay attention for a whole book. I have a hard time reading full books. I used to love reading, but I don't know, I get like ADD about it now or something. Like I feel like there's other things I should be
Ashley
doing.
about that.
Huh?
I'm gonna have to tell Ashley about that.
Yeah, it's like that is better than nothing, obviously. And that could be really helpful for certain people who just haven't figured out how to do it any other way. So that I thought was really cool.
Yeah, that is neat.
But yeah, I love this idea. So would we just set up like a group page, I'm assuming, on Facebook?
Yeah, we can if you want to do it that way, or we could just, if it's going to be part of the team call, then we might just want to open it up in the team page. And
Oh, that's actually a good point.
not everyone has to participate. Like, you can join a team call and not talk about your personal development. I don't want people to feel like if they have nothing to say, they can't join the call. But I think it might be a way to get some new coaches to join, because it's like, we're not going to really talk about like business stuff tonight. We're going to talk about PD, and you're welcome to listen in and kind of hear what we're reading about. And so I think maybe it's okay to have it in the team page, as long as we're not posting about it a ton. Like, it might be fine.
That's a really good idea. I'm digging it. So then next week, do we want to like start it now? Like, I'm assuming most of us have personal development we're either reading now or plan on reading. So we could even try next week to fit it in a little bit and see and figure out like how we're going to do that.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea though. And it just also emphasizes like how valuable personal development is.
Yep.
I can feel it when I'm not listening to it enough, or if I'm not listening to the right book. It might take me a couple days, and I'm like, oh, why do I feel off right now? And I'm like, that's because I'm not listening to like what my mind needs to hear right now.
Mm-hmm.
So like learning to like pick up on that and pay attention to that. Like if you're feeling like you're having a shitty day, or like things aren't going your way, like it could be that the personal development, you're either not reading it or you're not necessarily reading what your mind needs to hear. So anywho, yay, I love it. Thanks for the idea.
You're welcome.
All right. So then, yeah, I think that covers everything. So then I guess let's plan on next week. We can start or end with that. I don't really care either way. Maybe start with it in case anyone who doesn't maybe normally go on calls can like listen in on that.
Yep.
And leave if they want to. But yeah, I love it. Yay. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining. And yeah, I'll post those lists in the group so you guys can start answering the questions and looking at the awesome PD list in case you don't have anything yet or you're looking for something new.
Awesome.
Right. All right. Well, have a good night, you guys. Bye.
Good night.